All right, let's talk about vitamin C. We all think we've got it figured out, right? You get a cold, you drink some orange juice. Simple. But what if I told you that almost everything you think you know about vitamin C is, well, wrong? What if it's not even really a vitamin in the way we think it is? Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with that big question. Is it really a vitamin? I mean, think about it. Most vitamins, we need them in these small, regular amounts for just basic upkeep. But vitamin C? It's completely different. Our bodies call on it in huge amounts, but only when things go wrong, like in an emergency. It's playing a totally different game than we thought.
So if it's not just a vitamin, then what in the world is it? Well, the best way to think about it is as a stress survival molecule. Seriously, just changing that one phrase in your mind, it changes everything.
And what's really wild is that most animals, they can make their own vitamin C. When they get stressed, their bodies just start pumping out tons of it. But us humans? Nope. Somewhere way back in our evolution, we lost that ability. So now, we're totally dependent on getting it from food, especially when we're under any kind of stress.
And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. Here's a real-world example from Dr. Eric Berg. He did a test and found out he was super deficient in vitamin C. And he was thinking, how is that possible? I eat all the right stuff. Well, turns out he was exercising like a madman. He was putting his body under so much stress from overtraining that he was just sucking up all his vitamin C. It's a perfect example of how it's not just what you eat, it's about the stress your body is handling.
Okay, so to really nail this concept down, I want you to picture this. Think of vitamin C as your body's personal fire extinguisher.
Yeah, a fire extinguisher, it's not there to, build the walls or paint the house. It's there for when things go wrong, to put out the fires that could burn the whole place down. So the obvious question is, what are these fires we're talking about?
Well, they're the things we all deal with pretty much every day. We're talking about infections, inflammation, a physical injury, even emotional stress or a really intense workout. All of these things create what's called oxidative stress. You can think of them as tiny, damaging sparks inside your body. And vitamin C? It's the antioxidant that rushes in to put those sparks out. It quenches the fire. And that's exactly why how much you need can totally change day by day.
But wait, it's not just stress that's burning through your vitamin C. There's another culprit. A huge one, actually. And it's hiding in plain sight in most of our diets. I'm talking about sugar.
Okay, you've got to hear this, because it's a total game changer. It turns out that on a chemical level, vitamin C and sugar look almost identical. They're like twins. So identical, in fact, that they use the exact same door to get into your cells. But here's the crazy part. Your cells have a favorite. When both sugar and vitamin C show up at the door at the same time, sugar gets in first, every single time. It literally shoves vitamin C out of the way. So think about what that means. If you're eating a lot of sugar or carbs, you could be taking all the vitamin C you want, but it's just getting blocked at the door.
And the results of that? Well, they're huge. When your cells are starved of vitamin C, the little power plants inside them, the mitochondria, they can't work right. They can't burn fuel efficiently. And what does that feel like? It feels like chronic fatigue. It feels like brain fog. It's that feeling of, why am I so sore? Or why can't I recover from my workouts? It all starts to connect, right?
So right about now, you're probably thinking, fine, I'll just pop a vitamin C pill. And that makes sense. Except this is where things get a little shady. We need to talk about what's really going on in the supplement industry.
I mean, just look at these numbers. A massive 90%, 90 of all the vitamin C supplements you see on the shelf are totally synthetic. This isn't from oranges or bell peppers. It's basically industrial-grade vitamin C, usually made from corn sugar in a factory somewhere.
So why is almost everything synthetic? Simple. It is dirt cheap to make. We're talking as little as 30 cents to manufacture an entire bottle. So that bottle you're paying, what, 10 bucks for? It's almost all profit. And you're not getting a real whole food nutrient.
And here's the most important part to remember. Real vitamin C, the kind you find in food, is a whole complex. It's got multiple parts all working together as a team. The synthetic stuff, it's just one tiny piece of that team, ascorbic acid, all by itself. It's like having just the car engine without the wheels or the steering. When you're shopping, you want the whole complex, from real food, not just one lonely chemical.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the problems. Let's flip this around and talk about solutions. What can you actually do? Here's your action plan.
First things first, let's blow up a huge myth. We've all been told, oranges for vitamin C. But look at this, bell peppers have more than twice as much. And check out sauerkraut.
Now, the number might look smaller, but the magic here is the fermentation. That process makes the vitamin C super bioavailable, which is just a fancy way of saying your body can absorb and use it way, way more easily.
Oh, and a quick word of warning on that glass of orange juice you might be having. Most juice is pasteurized. It's heated up so it can sit on a shelf, but that heat completely destroys the natural vitamin C. So what do the juice companies do? You guessed it, they dump in that cheap synthetic ascorbic acid we were just talking about, and then slap good source of vitamin C on the label. It's not the same thing.
Okay, so let's put it all together. Here's your game plan, nice and simple. Step 1, cut the competition. This is the big one. You've got to lower your sugar and carb intake so vitamin C isn't getting blocked at the cell door. Step 2, eat the real stuff. Get raw bell peppers and fermented foods like sauerkraut into your diet. And step 3, adjust for stress. Having a tough week, training for a marathon, feeling sick? That's when you need to consciously eat more of these C-rich foods because your body is burning through it like crazy.
And that leaves us with one last, kind of powerful question to think about. You know, we hear the word scurvy and we think of old-timey sailors on long voyages, but what if that chronic fatigue, that brain fog, that feeling of always getting sick, what if that's a kind of modern scurvy, a deficiency caused not by a lack of lemons on a ship, but by our high-stress, high-sugar world? It's definitely some food for thought. Thanks for joining me for this one.